Oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm so excited if this is genuine. If the actual news, and by the way, I'm ill, hence, well, I think I'm getting ill, hence the reason for the voice being like this. But Liverpool might actually be getting, might being the key word, might be getting Florian Wirtz from Bayer Leverkusen this summer. And that is as big of a statement signing as you can possibly make when we've just won the league, and a lot of people were going to look at us and think, right, are Liverpool really going to spend? They never did in the past. They never did when they won the Premier League last time. They didn't do it really in the seasons gone by. All the big signings, so to speak, have been pretty poor. This is massive. If we're able to go out and actually get Florian Wirtz, one of the most sought after midfielders in European football, that is massive. That is a statement signing to every other club in Europe that we're not to be fucked with next season, and we can absolutely go and win whatever we want. I'll give it a minute or two, see if anyone actually wants to get involved in it. But this is massive. This is absolutely massive. And now it's important just to stress again that nothing's been like definitively done. Nothing has been completely agreed. All right, this is a very much, it is still up in the air. It's still out in the open. But oh my God, if we can get this done, this is this is up there with an Alisson level signing in terms of its significance. A Virgil van Dijk signing. Obviously, Mo Salah went on to do everything he's done, but at the time, that wasn't even viewed as a massive statement signing because of his past and stuff. This is our huge statement signing of a player. If we can bring in someone like Florian Wirtz for the fee that's being touted around, which we'll get into shortly, and we're able to do it, that is saying to everyone across Europe, saying to Bayern Munich in particular, Real Madrid, Barcelona, PSG, Man City, everyone, that next season we're going to do even better and we're going to go harder and we're going to absolutely smash every competition that we can compete in and are viable to win. Because Wirtz is one of those players who can just. It's not hyperbole that he could change this team. He could come in and absolutely change the way that we play. We're going places with slot. We're going to the top, the absolute top. This is like it. The speed of which this has gathered pace in literally the past couple hours is mental. And Wirtz is someone that we've been linked with for days and days and weeks, and just as soon as Man City sort of pulled out of it, you knew that it was going to be a pricey deal. And yet we're still in it. And that's not like us as a club. We so often see price tags of players and we get put off majorly. We don't usually go out and spend 200 million on players. Not 200 million, like 100 million on players. We've never done it. Like, this is massive, massive for us to assert ourselves back onto the top of the European ladder. Florian Wirtz, if we can beat a Bayern Munich team who, let's face it, it's Bayern. They're still going to be in the competing for Champions League next season. The Bundesliga is going to be a wash because it always is. You've got players like Harry Kane there. You've still got like Leroy Sané, even though he's probably going to be leaving. You've got a promising team coming through. For us to go out and get Wirtz for the price that we have, like when we never normally do this, would be massive. Wirtz a punt. Like, is it a punt signing him, do you mean? Or like it's just let me know. What a manager could be, slot fit to us like hand in glove. Like Arne Slot is doing, and you know what? He's not going to get the credit for this. I don't think this goes to Richard Hughes and everyone in that back room for the work they've done over the past 12 months. Because so many people were giving shit last season when we didn't sign anyone other than Federico Chiesa and Mamadashvili, and everyone was like, "Well, you've just signed this new manager. We're going through a change. We're going to need to come in and we're going to need to sign players because otherwise, what's the point?" And they've taken their time and he's bided his time and he's seen the positions on the pitch that need improvements. We've developed over the past 12 months. We've won the Premier League title and now we can see what areas of the team need improvement. And midfield was somewhere that as the season went on and the likes of McAllister started to wear down and Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and Jones and Elliott have been pretty poor in recent weeks, we knew that this area needed improvement on the pitch. And to get Wirtz that'd be insanity. So I'll cast up the actual news article because there's about 1 billion of them. It's literally broke on everything. I'll do Fabrizio because I think Fabrizio is the one that most people are going to know more so than anyone. So, according to the report, Liverpool have internally approved the transfer fee of 130 to 150 million euros, which is around Oh, what are we saying? Like 130 quid, something like that. And Liverpool are confident to get the Florian Wirtz deal done after fresh contacts in the last 24 to 48 hours. Talks are ongoing to get the final green light, but Liverpool are now favourites ahead of Bayern in the race for the German gem. And that, I'm so happy. This is such an unlike us signing in every regard. We never go out and spend big unless there's like a big sale. We saw Coutinho and we went out and we bought Allison and Fabinho, and Van Dijk was in the January, so make of that what you will. But that was massive. When we sold Suarez, we went out and we spent a fuck ton of money, albeit very poorly. This feels like it should be a player where we've sold like 3 or 4 people to get, and we're not. And we've still got Frimpong coming in, and we've still got Kirkes in negotiations, and we're spending about over 120 million quid on Vert. Like this is these are incredible times for us. We've just won the Prem, and we're not slowing down, and we're not taking our foot off the gas like we have done in the past, like when we last won the league, and we went out and we signed Thiago Alcantara, Tsimikas, and Jota. This is Florian Wirtz, one of the most exciting, versatile midfielders in Europe. Jeremy Frimpong is one of the most sought-after fullbacks in European football, and Kirkes, who has been arguably the Premier League's best left-back this season, and they're all being linked to us, and they're all being touted around at that £200 million mark before the window's even opened. That's how good we've done our business this season. Can't wait till the 1st of June. Yeah, the window opens on the 1st of June, then it's shut after a couple of days for all those people in the Club World Cup. Good for them. It will be £85 million, reports say, euros or more. They are, but I'm going to do the conversion rate from, so let's say it's 150 million euros to pounds. Let's see what that is. 150 million euros is about 125 million pounds. I know I said 125 pounds. I wish, but that's the conversion at the moment. Like he's about 125 to 130 million quid. He's about 150 million euros. If you go into the lowest mark there, he still cracks the 100 million mark. And I just think that, like I said, I'm so used to us just not signing these players. When we went for Caicedo, and when we went for Lavia, and when we went for all like Chouameni and Bellingham and all that, there were so many people saying this is unlike us, and we didn't get any of them over the line. And this deal is not done. Like we have not signed Wirtz yet. It's not definitive. We've not gone out and got him already. But ahead of Bayern Munich, to go out and be ahead of that club for this fee is monumental. And Liverpool has become a destination club. It's not a journey club. Say what you want about Trent. Fuck him. No one cares. Van Dijk sees it. Salah sees it. So many of our squad at the moment are settled and happy. And we are going to lose 1 or 2. Canate is up in the air. Sure, that's whatever it is. But if we've convinced Florian Wirtz of the magnitude of this transfer to us, that is mental. That is insanity. And he's going to be on good wage. He's going to have signing bonuses. He's going to have all sorts of things going on with him. This is huge. It's exciting, and it makes you think what's the midfield going to be like next season? Because Gravenberg's probably not going to get dropped, but we're being linked with Adam Wharton. McAllister's going to be there. Will he come in for Szoboszlai? Great, but then you've got Szoboszlai here who fills in. Like it's depth, and it's not just depth; it's world-class depth because you've got that midfield three alone are the highest of Premier League quality midfielders. McAllister and Gravenberg are top in Europe, arguably this season in midfield. And then you've got Wirtz coming in, who last season's on 16 goals and 11 assists in the Bundesliga and is putting out better stats than Roberto Firmino was in the 2019-20 season, who can play as a false nine, who can go on the wing if you need him to, who can play central midfield, attacking midfield. He's one of the best and most versatile players in Europe, and you'd be signing him for a hefty fee, but you need to make those signings. You've got to go out there and you've got to sign those players that basically say to everyone else, look what we're doing. We're not here to win the league and then drop again. We're going again. And Slot said today, like, we can't guarantee we're going to be that team that next season push and push and push and go for the league again, because there's a reason why eventually teams drop off. But so you sign these types of players. You sign players who are going to go out and are going to push you further and make you want to win more time and make you go for it even harder. And Wirtz is one of those players. And if you'd have said to us before the start of the window, You're going to have Frimpong signed up, Kirkhouse potentially soon, and Florian Wirtz potentially before the window's opened. Like that, this has started off better than anyone had any right to think it would. And that's coming off the back of a Premier League winning season. Like, it's so exciting. This shows intent. I completely agree. I can see getting a striker and another defender, and that's a good job. Ricky Hughes and Michael Edwards. It is like this would not have happened back when it was like Jörg Schmadtke and Jurgen Klopp in charge of the transfers. And that's no disrespect to either of them. You know, they would certainly not Klopp. Jörg Schmadtke, you know, what it is. But this wouldn't have happened. This has been calculated. This has been worked on behind the scenes. And we've taken the year off and we've saved up all our pocket money. And we've got all this money now to go out and spend on a player like this. And we've worked out weak points on the pitch. And like I said, I think Wirtz can play as a false nine if you need him to. The stats back it up. I'll get onto them shortly. His position on the pitch backs it up. He can play central midfield. If Szoboszlai needs a rest, if Alexis McAllister needs a rest, like the situation we're in now, when you take McAllister out of this team, and you put Curtis Jones in or Harvey Elliott, you do notice a dip. You notice a decline in quality. And that's because as much as people go, you need a bigger squad, you need a smaller squad, whatever it is, when you take the key players out of the team, when you take the players that are absolutely top tier, like your McAllisters, your Van Dijks, your Gravenberch, your Salahs, your Allisons, maybe not so much with Kelleher being there, but you notice a dip in quality. You can potentially take Alexis McAllister, who's been arguably the best midfielder in Premier League this season, and put Florian Wirtz there. That is not a dip in quality. That could potentially be an improvement, depending on how well he does. Like, this is mental that this is a player that we are being linked with, and this is a player that we could potentially sign. Like, I'm over the moon if this gets done. Will he start over Szoboszlai, or will they both? Excuse me. Will he start over Szoboszlai, or will they both play at the double 10? I don't know, because you've got to factor in, like I said, Alexis McAllister's still there. This, for me, is probably why Harvey Elliott wants to leave. Because you look at Harvey Elliott in the past few seasons, and there's a talented player there, and there's someone that you could debate is, you know, he is too good to be a bench player. He could go to a Wolves, he could go to a Brentford, maybe. And like one of those level of clubs, and he could do very well and assert himself into the English game. And the past few seasons, even before Arne Slot came in, Elliott's narrative has been, I want to stay, I want to fight for my place. And then he was saying that up until a certain point this season, and then something's just switched. And now all of a sudden it's, I've got to do what's best for my career. I've got to do what's best. And I think that the club has said to him, look, we're getting Florian Wirtz. We're going for him. Whether you're here or not, Wirtz is the target. He's coming in. You're going to have even more depth to compete with. And Elliott's decided, you know what? I'm not having it. Wirtz coming in essentially just nullifies Elliott, and no disrespect to him whatsoever, or Curtis Jones even for that matter. If you take out McAllister or Szoboszlai, Florian Wirtz gets in over Jones or Elliott. Obviously, that goes without saying, but that's a massive. There's a reduced gap in quality there, like there would be if Jones or Elliott came on. Slot is a tactical genius, completely agree. I think we should keep Jones, but sell Elliott. I agree with that as well. I think Elliott's just, he's ran his course. He's had his moments, definitely. And he does get those occasional wonder goals like we've seen Cardiff, PSG, Lille, PSV, Bournemouth. Like he does get key goals and key moments, Wolves in the FA Cup. But that's about it. He just doesn't seem to fit the system. He's not the type of player Slot wants. And Slot's pretty much said that himself. He's behind Szoboszlai and Salah. He doesn't have a set place in the team as such. He's not found his rhythm this season. And a large portion of that's injuries. He did have the injury earlier on. He broke his ankle, I believe. A few years ago, he had that Leeds injury. It feels like whenever he's starting to get momentum, it gets cut down by some sort of knock or injury, and then he's just not ostracized. He's dropped from the team because he's not back up to form. And this season, I don't think it's been any exception. He's not been able to get his rhythm going. When we were going into preseason, I, like many people, thought that Elliott was going to be like the breakout star under Slot, that he was going to be the number 10. He was going to be a regular in this team. It's not the case. It didn't happen. And now we're seeing the results because he's more than likely going to leave, and that's fine because Wirtz coming in essentially just, you know, you can't complain. You're replacing a chicken sandwich with like the greatest chicken salad of all time. Like there's no complaints to be had whatsoever. If Wirtz is the man to come in and replace Elliott, I can see Zobo dropping deeper for either Gravenberg or McAllister, and Jones being the backup for Wirtz. So Jones higher up and Szoboszlai like the rotation for Gravenberg. I don't think Szoboszlai fits being deep as such. I don't think he's a great passer of the ball. He's good. I think he's better when he's able to be a bit further forward and he's the engine back and forth, back and forth. Just like I think Gravenberg's better defensively than he is going forward at points. McAllister's our best passer in midfield, so that hence his position on the pitch. I don't really see Szoboszlai dropping deep and being a rotation for Gravenberg, if that makes sense. He's too good to be the backup. It will just be a constant rotation like we've seen with City, because midfield this season's where we burnt out. We absolutely burnt out in midfield this season, and you need someone to rotate around them. I think Szoboszlai will stay pretty far up the pitch, like higher than any of the midfield. I think Jones will be the one to drop deeper. He'll be the one who's sort of the rotation option for Gravenberg. Don't forget as well, we've got Bajcetic to come back, which is mental to say. There is other options there. Is what it is. Will this mean we're not buying a number 9? Well, it depends. I, like many people, seem to think that he is going to go into midfield, but I think he can play as a false 9. Honestly, I will get the stats up shortly. He has the potential and ability to be a prime creator in that front line for the likes of Salah and Gakpo and Diaz. If he stays, we don't really know. He's potentially off as well to Barcelona. They made that very clear. But I think Wirtz can unlock an even higher level out of the likes of them. He's been so creative for Bayer Leverkusen. His average position on the pitch is about the same as what Roberto Firmino's was for us in 2019-20. And statistically, a lot of his stats are actually higher than Firmino's. He's got more progressive passes, progressive carries, shot creating actions. He is primed and ready, I think, for that Roberto Firmino role that Cody Gakpo could never fit into. Florian Wirtz is so versatile in what he does. And I'll get the stats up now, actually. That's Florian Wirtz stats. And I'll do the comparison to Firmino in 2019-20. The last time we won the Premier League, because you need Firmino when he was at his false 9 peak. And I think the season before he was a lot more striker-esque. The following season we won the league is the one where he really started to come back deeper and he started to operate more as that creator up front for the likes of Mane and Salah. So yeah, I'm so excited by the prospect of this, and it really does. So get us passing stats there, and then we'll compare to Roberto Firmino from 2019-20, which, if that's your comparison, if that's your base level that you're comparing to, that's ridiculously good. Roberto Firmino, Liverpool, and then we're going to get not his entire career, we are going to get the 2019-20 season, and we're going to make that comparison, and that's probably the best way to do it. So let me stop casting this one, stop the screen there, present, share screen. I will get better at this one day, I swear to God. Sorry about my voice again, someone just commented. I think I'm getting sick. I'm trying to prevent it, but I'm not doing a very good job at the moment. So let's have a look. So goals and assists, obviously, Wirtz is a big threat going forward for Leverkusen. His minutes as well. He's actually had less minutes than Roberto Firmino did in the 2019-20 season. Firmino played 38 matches in the Premier League that season. That's a key thing to remember. This is the Premier League from 2019-20 for Firmino versus Florian Wirtz in the Bundesliga this season. So that's hence the reason for the matches. He's played more minutes with less games. Obviously, Firmino was starting to pick up injuries here and there, and he was starting to, get rotated around. Higher goals and assists, got 5 more. And I just want to make it very clear. I'm not saying that Wirtz's season here is better than Firmino's was in 2019-20. Far from it. This is just to give a base layer for why I think he could potentially be our new false 9. He's exceeded his XG by 0.6. XG is what it is. It's pretty crap. This is the big one, though. Progressive carries, progressive passes, and progressive passes received all are higher than Roberto Firmino. He's very mobile up top. We've seen that numerous times. The position he takes up, he'll often come deep, but he's very capable of running forward. He's able to find people. progressive passes, 176 to Firmino's 111. And you think back to that 2019-20 season and how often Firmino would get the ball and put it out wide, but forward to Mane and Salah. And that's what Wirtz has done so well this season. He's someone who can distribute the ball. And we want someone up top who can distribute the ball to Salah, to Mane. There's no point, in my opinion, trying to sign someone to relieve the goal scoring responsibility per se. Salah is our best weapon up top. I say rather than trying to fix that problem and reduce his output by signing someone else, you cater to his strengths and you find someone who can draw people to him and you find someone who can create space and you find someone who can make Salah even better because he's had to step up this season because everyone else up top in the middle has been pretty crap, to say the least. Wirtz there is being played to cater to Salah's strengths. And that is a big thing. Like, that is absolutely massive to have in your arsenal. We're going down shooting. Overall, like I said, 10 goals to 9. He's got 74 shots to Firmino's 99. And like I said, Firmino's role in that Liverpool team was not to be a goal scorer. That is not what his primary role is. And that's why I've picked the 2019-20 season. Because in that season, his role was, right, go back, drop back, create for others. You don't have to be the prime goal scorer. I think 17-18 was the season where he scored the most goals for us. He was definitely in the 20s in Champions League. I think he was like our joint top scorer or something ridiculous like that. This season, 2019-20, is the one where he became the true creative force up top for Liverpool, propelled us to the Premier League. And like, look at the shooting though. When Wirtz gets into those positions, he's going to be lethal. He can be a false nine, not just in the sense of creating, but he can score. He can actually score a goal. He's such a good shot. And some of his goals that he's actually scored for Leverkusen have been fucking mental. Let me know in the comments, like, do you think Wirtz can be a false nine? Because I will die on this hill. I'm willing to. It's so perfectly laid out for him. We don't need the distance. That's not the one. Passing, though, this is a big one. Now, obviously, people will say, well, he's an attacking midfielder. You know, Firmino is that false nine. He's meant to be higher forward. But the passing stats, he's got a lower percentage. And the main reason for that, if I can get it up, is there. It's medium and long. Firmino was an expert at picking out players from distance out wide. He would pick it up and he could switch it and he could distribute. And Wirtz, that's where he lacks. It's the medium and the long balls. 83% of Firmino's long balls came off compared to 51.9. But look at the amount that he's attempting. It's almost 3 times the amount. It's over 3 times the amount, or thereabouts. He's also someone who, if he does play in that false nine, he can drop into midfield. And we can end up with 4 in midfield at one point. Like, he's so versatile in what he brings to this team. We could end up with 2 up top. There's no end to what he's actually capable of doing. And I'm really excited with the prospect of actually getting him because he could deliver a different dimension to this team. And it's so exciting to see. He may play the Firmino role, but he's on a different planet to Firmino. Technically, Wirtz will be the most technically gifted player we've had since Coutinho. He's Coutinho with way more industry. I'm not gonna argue that. I think he's someone who's gonna throw himself around. And if I can find the tackling stats, that would be a really, really good metric to actually compare. Defensive actions, Firmino's actually better. Well, he's attempted more. Wirtz won more. But defensive third, 10. That one there, though, midfield and attacking third, that's the big one. That's the big bit where you're going to think, right, we need someone up top who can press. And Wirtz can fucking do that like no one's business. Up top, he's a presser. And so many of his goals involve him winning it high up the pitch. And then it's one little pass through for whoever's going on to the end of it. A lot of the time, it was Frimpong. And that's another reason why he'd be great in that role. Yes, false nine. Thank you. Completely agree. This could be huge. And you know what? Like I said before, this could be statement signing. This is our proper marquee big signing of the summer to say everyone else next season is going to be worse than what you've seen this year. And you see the players that City are being linked with. And it's just it feels like everyone else at the moment, Arsenal are after Rodrigo. That's big. Chelsea, Jonathan Davis. Like, there's big players being linked to all these other clubs. And Slot said it himself. Like, everyone else is going to go out and spend mad amounts of money. We have to do that to compete. And we do. We can't be a club this season, now that we're on our perch and we're on top of the mountain and we're in the position we're in, we can't sit back. You cannot now sit back and decide, right, take it easy, take your foot off the gas. We're going to save our money. What are we saving for? We save for days and seasons like this and moments where we've now saved up all our change, all the fucking stuff that we find in between the couch cushions, and we can go out and we can fucking spend and we can sign top quality European talent. I am more than happy with us signing the occasional prospect. I understood when we signed Fabio Carvalho. I understood why we signed Harvey Elliott when we did Sepp Vandenberg. I get it. You need to sign these prospects. You need to go out and you need to sign these people for the future. The future is now. We've built up to this moment. We've got a manager who has come in and absolutely taken the whole league by surprise. But towards the end of the season, people were looking leggy. People were looking like they'd been ran down. And now you have to strengthen. You've got to go out and you've got to make the team even better and push further, because so many people will give us shit because we've taken our foot off the gas and saying worst point total since Leicester. You've really fell off. Worst champions ever. It's bollocks. Because you go out and rather than trying to win the remaining games and burn yourself into the ground for the sake of points totals, you go out and you sign players like this. You go out and you get the best players in Europe that everyone would be crying out for. Bayern Munich, Man City, Florian Wirtz is not going to them, and that grinds them up the wrong way. This is massive. Jeremy Frimpong was being linked to Man City. He was being linked to Juventus. He was being linked to Bayern. And he's fucking coming to us. And Kirkes, City wants them. Arsenal being linked to them. Chelsea are probably being linked to them because they want everyone under the sun. He didn't go to them. He's coming to us. We are on our perch and we're where we are in the league, and we are where we are as a club right now because now we are signing players of top European quality. And we've done it in the past. We did it with Alisson. We did it with Fabinho. If you go back into the past, when we signed Fernando Torres, he was one of the most up-and-coming, exciting prospects in Spanish football. Luis Suarez was the same over in Ajax. We signed players who we knew were going to become world beaters. And now we're going out and we're actually signing. I want to say he's the finished article. He's not even the finished article. Like, he's 22 years old, and he feels like a finished top quality article in European football. He did an invincible season with Bayer Leverkusen. He won the Bundesliga in an invincible campaign where they almost did the treble and missed on it by one match. And he's been a staple of Bundesliga football since he was a kid. He was the youngest player to ever score in the Bundesliga, even younger than Kai Havertz was at the time. He was on 17 years and 19 days, or 16 years, 19 days. A few days later, he becomes the youngest ever. He's the youngest debutant, then he's the youngest goal scorer. He's the fastest player to reach 5 Bundesliga goals under the age of 18, the quickest to reach 10 goals under the age of 19. He has broken records time and time again, and he's gone to Leverkusen. He has absolutely smashed it. And this season, he's shown it time and time again. Despite Bayer Leverkusen finishing second, despite them doing pretty poor across all their competitions, bar obviously the Bundesliga, they pushed Bayern Munich quite far. He has been integral, and 16 goals and 11 assists is mental. That is top quality players. And we give players in our Liverpool team shit because they don't contribute to enough goals. McAllister does get the odd one. Szoboszlai does get the occasional one. This is someone who can go out and he can make things happen, like we thought Naby Keita was going to, like we've seen countless times in the past with midfielders where we thought this is the one who's going to really do it, and this is the lad who's going to actually come in and make a difference. Heard he chose us due to conversations with Slot. I've heard he enjoyed the conversations with Slot. I've heard that Bayer Leverkusen are willing to accept because we're willing to sort of pay what they want, which is something we never used to do again, and now we are. And he liked the prospect. There's so many different rumors coming out. Apparently, he was looking at houses recently in Merseyside over the past few days. How he snuck that in, I don't know. As a Bayern fan, I'm rather happy that we're not splashing money on a single target and instead focus on building our squad. By the way, congratulations. Thank you very much. Congratulations on winning the Bundesliga. I know I do discredit it a bit, and I'm sorry. But congratulations on order. Vincent Kompany's first season's been terrific for Bayern, so well done on that. I mean, it is true. Bayern are usually the ones who, to be fair, they're normally quite thrifty. I think all the Dortmund signings are testament to that. Lewandowski, Goetze, Hummels, like you are very thrifty in what you do. To be able to go out and sign Wirtz for you is a big thing when you've obviously got other areas of the pitch that are going to need addressing. Harry Kane isn't particularly getting any younger. Sane's looking like he's potentially going to be leaving. There's a big gap building in certain areas. So I understand it in that regard, whereas we've got a pretty strong squad, but there's a few areas of the pitch that just look like they need a little bit of tweaking. We do need another left back. We do need another right back. We can see what the small parts of the pitch that need improvement, and we're just spending the money to get them filled rather than trying to sign young lads who we think in a couple of years you're going to develop into something fucking world beaten. We're not doing that this season. And Bayern, if that's the route they're going, the same sort of route that PSG have been going, it's terrific to see, and I'm curious to see how they do. It's going to be scary when he's at his peak, and that's it. He's not even at his peak. He's not at his peak yet. He's fucking 22 years old. He's not at his peak, and he feels like such a finished article already. He's going to get better. He's going to get absolutely better, and he's going to be doing it in slot system where he's going to have a lot of the ball, and he's going to be able to really push this team forward. He can play as a false nine. This season, Darwin Nunez and Diogo Jota have averaged a deeper position on the pitch than Alexis McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. Slot wants a false nine. He's getting a false nine with Wirtz. If he wants to put him in midfield, he can. If he wants to do a 4-2-4, if he wants to do a 4-4-2, you can do it. It's versatility. It's expensive, but you're paying for good quality. Wirtz can be a false nine, but I'd still want us to get another forward. Nunez is leaving and Diaz might leave too. I get that completely, and I understand that there is going to be people who are saying, well, if he does come in as a midfielder, you're still going to have to spend big elsewhere. And I think if we do sign Wirtz for the money that we're being linked with him, we probably are going to sign another striker, but it is going to be on the cheap, and that's making me think it's going to be like a João Pedro, who I'm all for. Again, false nine, stats back it up. I don't want Sesko because he's cheap. I just don't want Benjamin Sesko. He's not my type of player. We're being linked with a large variety of people. So yeah, if we do sign Wirtz to midfield, we are probably going to have to go out and sign someone else up top. Bro, no way. Yes way. I don't even know why Bayern would want to fork out the money on him when they have a forward line. They already have Musiala, which is a terrific. I completely forgot about Musiala. I'm a really, really shit person. Yeah, but it's true. Bayern have a more than capable team at the minute. It just felt like a Bayern move, and I think the fact as well that they've apparently had a pre-negotiation with him for supposedly about a year. He's apparently promised to them and said, "Yeah, I'll come, I'll come." That makes this even more impressive on our end that we've been able to come in and go, actually, fuck all the year-long negotiations you've had and the promises and the prospects. Here's what we want. Do you want to come? Yes or no? And he's gone, fair enough. And that speaks a lot about our pulling power this season, that we've been able to go in from Bayern, who have had this big head start, and have just whipped it on the table and said, right, what happens next is up to you, but we're here if you want us. And he's fucking right, he does. Is this April Fool's? It's not April Fool's. It's not April. It's fucking borderline truth. Sax Tavolieri's done it. Fabrizio Romano's done it. David Ornstein's done it. Everyone has been reported on it. So that's why I've done it here. Probably will shoot stream. But yeah, it's massive. I feel like a kid when we bought Torres, knew we about him for Pez, similar to Wirtz with Footy Manager. I used to do the same thing. I used to immediately, when we signed Wijnaldum, I knew him from Newcastle, but I was like, oh, is he really that good? And you'd go on FIFA and see the stats and be like, fuck me, this lad's going to be great. And he was. But yeah, this is a massive, it's intent. Since the Van Dijk Alisson transfer window, the last one before that, where I was like, oh my God, we're actually, we're going to really push and we're going to actually sign someone massive was probably, oh God, I mean, Harry Kewell at the time was viewed as a big signing. That was a big thing. Jabril Cisse, like we're going back, but yeah, like this is mental, absolutely mental. It's a true sign of intent from us, and that's what we needed to do this season after winning the league. Hi everyone, how you all doing? Like, comments, yes. Like, comment, share, subscribe, please, because we're actually, and I've got it in front of me, we're almost at 4,700 subs. I want to try and get to 5,000 pretty soon. So please, everyone, please click subscribe, because it does help out massively. If you do it, if you watch them right now, it takes 2 seconds. Literally takes 2 seconds. Best case for another forward is Alvarez in a cut price swap with Nunez, or they can somehow get Rodrigo if Diaz leaves. Though don't expect relations with Madrid are good at the minute. Madrid relations are never good. Fuck Real Madrid. That is my parting message. Alvarez in a cut price deal with Nunez, I'm all for it. Alvarez up top would be terrific. Although when your club president basically says, look, he will die with this club, that kind of seals the deal for you as to whether or not he's actually going to come to your club. I'm okay with choosing to go to Liverpool over us because that's the only club which I like in Europe other than Bayern. If it was any other club, I would have gone berserk. Fair enough. You know what? That's absolutely fine. If it was Real Madrid, I would have absolutely hit the roof. But yeah, I appreciate that. Liverpool is looking scary right now, but they need a better left winger. What about Gakpo as striker? Now, Gakpo did try striker when we first signed him. The first season, he joined under Jurgen Klopp, that first half of the season. No, the second half of the season, even after we signed him in January, he only played left winger twice. And then the next season, he didn't play it. I think he played it about 15 times. We tried him at centre forward. We tried him in the Firmino role. It'd have moments where he looks good. He's obviously good in the air. He's good in the box. He was great. It felt like he wanted to be a striker more than a creator. It just didn't work. I want Gakpo strictly to left wing duties. I don't want to see him anywhere near the striker position. It's just pointless. Leave him where he is. He's doing nothing wrong. Diaz is probably going to go to Barcelona anyway. And I think Florian Wirtz to get the best out of Cody Gakpo on that left-hand side because he's able to slow the game down. He's not constantly looking for balls in behind, which isn't Gakpo's play style, but the option's there if he does decide to go round. He can go out wide and Gakpo can alternate that way, like we saw with Chiesa the other day when he was playing with Gakpo. They'd often rotate up top. Didn't necessarily work, but it's an option if you need it. I think we're going to wrap up there because I think there's nothing else I can particularly say other than it's Florian Wirtz. This weekend is the greatest weekend ever. Like, we've literally, if anyone's going to it tomorrow, by the way, I will be at the big Red Weekender in the event stadium, seeing the Redmen thing. I'll be there. I'll be talking to them. Come see me if you want to, if anyone gives a shit. So we've got that. We've then got the match on Sunday. We've then got the parade Monday, and we've got Florian Wirtz. We've got Jeremy Frimpong. Like, this is the greatest fucking weekend ever, and this is mental. That Florian Wirtz could potentially be coming to Liverpool. Like, that is mental. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Do you think that we'll actually get Florian Wirtz, even though I've just bigged it up and pretty much just said that we are? Are you happy with it? Where would you be playing him on the pitch? What do you make of the deal in terms of its price, in terms of everything that's going on around it? Are you disappointed if you're a Bayern Munich fan, or can you see the rationale? Let me know in the comments. Please make sure to click like and subscribe. It helps out more than you can possibly imagine. We're almost at 4,700 now. We want to try and get to 5,000 as soon as possible. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and tuning in. I'll see you all in the next one. There's going to be a list video coming out in the next couple of days. Thank you very much for watching. Florian Wirtz. Oh my God. Like,